Going on YouTube, it's High MMA, and today we're discussing the fighters that I am rooting for currently in the UFC. Well, I say currently in the UFC. You know, fighters that might have a fight coming up or, might have recently had a fight. That's what we're talking about today, and, there's nothing really more that we have to say. Let's get straight into it. So, in the flyweight division, I'm choosing Steve Erceg. Astro Boy is his nickname. Not sure how I feel about that. It is kind of gay. But other than that, I like this guy, man. He's not had that many fights in the UFC, but he recently had a title shot against Pantoja where he arguably won. He shouldn't have tried to wrestle him in round 5, though. That was a really, really fucking stupid decision. He's meant to be fighting Kai Kara-France next, which I think he'll win. He got a lot of fans off of the whole being literally bedtime MMA thing. I think that was pretty funny. I will be interested to see what happens after the Kai Kara-France fight. Hopefully it's a rematch with Pantoja if he's still champ. So yeah, Steve Erceg, flyweight, that's my choice. Next up, we're talking about the GOAT of featherweight, whether you like it or not, Jose Aldo. But he ain't in featherweight right now, he's in bantamweight, but he came out of retirement. He beat Martinez. It was a pretty good fight. He's looking really good, really fast, really powerful, and in his prime, he was the most scary fighter that featherweight has ever seen. Prime Conor was scary, but he had nothing on prime Aldo. Went 8 years undefeated, I think it is. Beat some of the best names that featherweight has ever seen. And I think that he can get a couple wins in the bantamweight division right now. I low-key want to see the Merab rematch if Merab loses against O'Malley. I know that's kind of crazy to say, but look, you can't have him going on a super long title run. He's old, so push him up there, give him Merab when he loses, because he will lose. And yeah, that's my bantamweight choice, Jose Aldo. Okay, next up, we're talking about Brian the Eagle Ortega. You want to know who my featherweight choice is? Haha, I'm glad you asked. It's Brian Ortega, bro. He is the Eagle. He would have beat Lopez the other night. Lopez went 3 rounds with Dan Ige. Come on. I picked Brian and I knew Brian would have won. It was unfortunate to see him have to pull out because I was really looking forward to that fight. But it doesn't matter. He'll be back. I'm not sure who he should be fighting next. I would kind of like to see the Lopez fight get rebooked, but I think he's going to lightweight. But, I will be interested to see what he does at lightweight. He could potentially look at maybe a Rafael Fiziev fight. That could be cool. But, let's talk about what he's done in featherweight. He fought Volk, gave him a really good fight, put him in some nasty chokes. I'm not going to lie, he got his ass whooped by Holloway, but we'll ignore that. He beat Yair recently, and, I feel like he's very underrated. And I do think if the whole Holloway versus Topuria plans fall through, he could low-key Eagle Max his way into a title shot. I could totally see it happening. It's a very Brian Ortega-esque thing to happen. And also, for all you UFC simps watching this video, he cheated on Tracy Cortez like the Eagle God he is. So that's featherweight choice, Brian Ortega. Let's move on. Okay, now we're in the lightweight division, and this was the easiest choice. It's Renato Money Moicano, my personal favorite fighter in the lightweight division. I picked him to beat Jalen Turner recently on UFC 300. He was an underdog there, and he got the TKO. Jalen Turner is absolute dog wank, bro. He's meant to be fighting BSD next, which I don't like for him. But, he could win seeing as BSD got molly-whopped by Dustin Poirier on UFC 299, I think it was. Amazing fight, but let's focus on Renato. He's not lost since 2022. He recently won in a grappling competition as well. He was booked to fight Arman at one point. That didn't go through, but you never know if he would have won that, man. Arman could have got himself walked into a jiu-jitsu choke by Renato. He has amazing jiu-jitsu. Trains with Oliveira from time to time, I'm pretty sure, so that explains it. But yeah, let's move on to welterweight. My pick for welterweight is Nick Diaz, an absolute OG of the game. You'll know he's an OG because he hasn't won since like fucking 2011. He lost against Robbie Lawler in his last fight, which was like some sort of comeback that just miserably failed. But he's fought some amazing names like GSP ages ago. He also fought Anderson Silva, that was ages ago as well, and he's fighting Luque next on the same card as Tony Ferguson, and I'm pretty sure Figueiredo's fighting on that card. It should be pretty good. I think that's on August 2nd or 3rd. I want him to win that fight, but I don't know if he will. If he does, it will be amazing for the UFC. It'd be great to see an OG like him win, but I don't think it will happen. But if it does, I will be very happy. But let's move on to middleweight. We are talking about Israel Adesanya in the middleweight division, the main character of the middleweight division. Whether you hate him or not, he knocked out Pereira in amazing fashion. And, you know, his Pereira fights, I mean, I have my personal opinions on him, and I'm not going to put him in this video, because I'm not trying to get bullied in the comments. But he has an amazing resume. He's beat Anderson Silva. He's beat Robert Whittaker twice. He's beaten Marvin Vettori. He's beaten Jared Cannonier. He took two rounds off of Sean Strickland in their fight. And he's fighting Dricus du Plessis next in a fight which I think he will win by KO. Contender Izzy isn't someone you want to be on the other side of the octagon against. And I just think Dricus du Plessis is going to run forward into a left hand and just get knocked the fuck out. So yeah, middleweight choice is Israel Adesanya. Let's move on to light heavyweight. Now for light heavyweight, I'm going to choose Jamal Hill. Now, I know he got absolutely ruined by Alex Pereira on UFC 300, but you have to understand, Jamal Hill is now getting severely underrated. People are forgetting how good he is. He's only lost to Alex Pereira and Paul Craig, and that was an arm break. So, you know, that was a kind of dodgy way to lose. But I do think that he should fight Yuri next. I'd love to see that fight. That fight was supposed to happen before Alex Pereira moved up to 205. I think he'll beat Yuri, and I do want to see Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill rematch. Just Alex Pereira might go up to heavyweight, and he might have to vacate the belt. And if he does, then it should be Yuri and Jamal Hill for the vacant belt, as was planned before Alex moved up to 205. I think Jamal Hill would win by either a bloody battle, which he would win by decision, or I could see him getting a TKO on Yuri. I just don't think Yuri would be able to... I don't think his chin would hold up anymore after the way that Pereira ruined him like that. You know, he absolutely melted him. He's got no chin left. Well, not for now. So I would have Jamal Hill winning that fight, but let's move on to heavyweight. My choice for heavyweight isn't even ranked, it's Robelis Despain. Yeah, you know that guy from February that you were all bigging up and then just decided to throw in the trash as soon as he got wrestle fucked? Yeah, him. He is an amazing fighter. I don't like the hate that he's getting from fans. Here's an example of how fast one of his fights go. Opening seconds here, literally, look. This is in the teens of the seconds into the fight, and he finishes his opponent. Yeah, it's a can, but don't act like he's got no skill just because he got wrestle fucked. There's plenty of bums in that heavyweight division he could KO. Even some ranked guys, I believe, he could KO. You know, Arlovsky, who recently fought, literally last weekend, he KO Arlovsky. He'd KO Martin Buday. Don't sleep on Robelis Despain. I think he'll win by KO in his next fight. I don't think it'll go the same way. He will have to tighten up his grappling now he's in the UFC, and I do think he will. So just give him a chance. But anyway, people, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to switch it up a bit. I don't just want to be talking about the cards and everything. I want some personal takes on the channel too. So feel free to comment and tell me what you're thinking. You know what I'm going to say. You don't have to like, you don't have to subscribe, but you can if you want. And yeah, that's the end of the video. So peace.